real quick. In this exercise, we choose how we respond to people. So I want you to think about taking nonviolent direct action, how it requires discipline and focus intentionally so that in the heat of the moment, we can make clear decisions about how we want to act and what we want to say. Can everybody hear me?
Okay, so get into character and start now.
I want to introduce myself. I have some literature here I'd like to read. If you wouldn't mind taking a minute.
Okay, everybody on this side, he already told you what our key teachings was, and I'll repeat. We choose how we respond to conflict. So what I want to say to you now is someone to raise their hand or speak out. What happens specifically? I wasn't part of that, so someone tell me what happened or how did you feel about what happened? Janice?
I was trying to speak to the shareholder, and she was very insistent about passing me. So I was trying to stop her and make her listen to my views for a few minutes.
Across the country, more than 1,000 trainers have been trained this weekend. They're going to go out in their communities and train teams of activists who are going to take nonviolent direct action this spring to take our country back and put people first, people and planet first. There is no real expectation that you know everything. That's an obviously ridiculous expectation. It's mainly coming from your own head. So talk yourself down and tell yourself it's okay. You all already know everything that you need to know to give this training, okay? The other thing that I need to point out is it's actually irresponsible to try to answer questions about nonviolent direct action that you don't know the answers to. If y'all give people bad legal advice or bad information, they might assume that you know what you're talking about, go take action, and there could be all kinds of consequences for that person, okay? There could be legal consequences, physical violence, emotional trauma. So if you are planning a arrestable or more high-risk action, please consult with an experienced action trainer and go through another training to prepare yourself for that stuff, okay? So the reason that 60 organizations from across the country decided it was important to train people on nonviolent direct action is because we know that it works. We know from history that it works. We know from the experience of our organizations that it works. That it can, when done well and correctly, and in the context of a goal, a strategy, and a campaign, with broad, diverse support, all the things that we know are important when we go do this stuff, that it totally changes the game. So, we took our 80 people, we had a huge banner that said, "Change means representing people, not Wall Street." And we had a bunch of camping tents. And we marched into the Bank of America lobby in uptown St. Louis and pitched a bunch of tents right in the lobby. This is before Occupy happened, so there wasn't like any security, and no one knew what the heck to do. There are 80 people in there. We were righteously angry. We were chanting. The security guards were like, "This is private property," and everyone was ignoring them. They were like, "Oh no." We had ahead of time, so our goal for this action was to actually get the bank to committing to restructuring the loans, or restructuring the mortgage payments for about 20 different individuals in St. Louis who were facing foreclosure with Bank of America. Unbeknownst to the bank, we had approached a loan counseling agency and said, "We're going to do this thing, and our demand is that none of us are leaving the bank until they agree to discuss these people's loans with you." And so that's what we did. We came in, we had megaphones, we had the homeowners tell their personal stories about how they were doing everything they could to stay above water, how they had maybe lost their home, or lost their job because of the financial crisis, which was Bank of America's fault. And we told our truths, we held our ground in the lobby, and ultimately the local bank president agreed that they would meet with this third party to discuss renegotiating these people's mortgages. So we won our ask. Direct action got the goods. At the end of the day, those people got to stay in their homes. They successfully, so that's how we started on our week.
Hi, so I'm Jenny Marino. I work with 350.org, and we're here today for training for trainers for the 99% spring trainings. And that's a project to introduce 100,000 people to nonviolent direct action and give them an opportunity to start planning their own nonviolent direct actions in their community. So today we're just giving people the skills to go back to their communities and their groups and bring these skills to other people. Yeah. We actually have some of these going on, like different kinds of nonviolent direct action going on in this campaign. So can anyone name a place where a protest came in?
There was a demonstration.
Yeah, there's a protest. It's pretty easy. Yeah. We had a great drum corps. Non-cooperation. Pulling your money. Yep. Intervention. This one actually might be tougher for people who weren't from Charlotte, but there was a blockade. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they blocked the.
I underestimated the group. Yeah. There's a blockade of the bank door, so we disrupted business as usual. And creative solutions, the different community structures that we can build.
Putting money in the local credit.
Yeah, so we actually had a big community festival last week where we gave people the opportunity to transfer their money to the circle. Cool. So I want everyone in the circle to choose 2 people without telling them, other people in the circle, and I want you to position yourself so that the 3 of you make an equilateral triangle. I don't want you to tell the people who they are. So find those 2 people, and I want you to position yourself so you can be an equilateral triangle. If they move, you want to keep yourself in the position that you're in an equilateral triangle. Oh. Is that clear instructions so people understand? Wait, what are we doing? You're making an equilateral triangle with 2 people.
Please tell us who you are and why you're here.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Yvonne McJetters. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a Move On organizer, and I'm here today because I want to learn how I can help the community. I have pastored before, but I find that I like being in the community better. I am here because of the issues that's facing our country today. People are unemployed today. People do not have access to health care today. People do not have jobs today. People just need to rise up and be determined to change what is going on in our community. We, the people, have the power, and I want us to recognize our power as community and be able to use our voice to tell our government and our local leaders how we feel about what's going on in our community. Again, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I invite you to get involved with what's going on in your community and know what the issues are and who your politicians are and how you can work with them, or if they're not doing what you want them to do, how you can work without them. Thank you. Have a great day.
I am Thomas Kennedy, and I am the council coordinator for MoveOn.org Council in Forsyth County, North Carolina. And I'm here today because I believe that this country is at a crossroads, and that we as citizens need to find a way to wake up and take it and tell our government that we are the reason that it exists and that we will not be co-opted by a few people. So it is my belief that the rich, the whatever have taken over, and that average citizens are losing their right to speak up. There's no Mr. Smith goes to Washington, it's now Mr. Corporation goes to Washington. So I'm here today to learn nonviolent action and then go back to Forsyth County and deal and teach others on how to participate in their government, how to speak up, how to be heard without using violence, but at the same time to counter those who would oppress them or try to use violent tactics to intimidate them.
So this is a really good case study to use because I feel like most people are really familiar with the story of Rosa Parks. So does someone want to give us like the third grade overview of what Rosa Parks, her story, what she did? Yeah.
This really awesome lady was tired on a bus, and a white male, I think, asked her to get up so that he could sit down. And she was obviously less able to stand up than he was, and she said, "Nope, I'm going to stay right where I am." And then she got in big trouble for it because that was against the law.
Yep. So that's the story that we all probably learned in our textbooks. Very boiled down, Rosa Parks was just this tired woman. She was coming home from work. Someone told her to move and she was like, "Not today." And she stood her ground. That is not accurate. Yeah.
What happened was she was in the rightful place on the back of the bus where she was supposed to be. And as more people got on the bus, they started infringing on the area where African Americans were allowed to sit. So she was asked to get up, but she was where she was supposed to be. So they were infringing on her already rights, and she was like, no, not today.
That's a piece of the story that I actually haven't heard before.
Yeah, she was on the back where she needed to be.
As I understand it, her not giving up her seat was part of this whole big plan that they had been working on for some time. Yes. It was an organized effort to find someone to actually confront them and say, no, we're not going to do it. So she was part of a bigger plan that was being implemented in the area, the whole boycott, which would lead to the boycott of the buses overall. It wasn't a random act in any sense at all. It was planned.
Right, so I think a really good way of demonstrating this picture was in my textbook growing up, my Georgia Studies textbook. But this picture, did anyone ever wonder how someone happened to be on the bus at the exact time that she decided to take this stand? Great. There it is, that's the picture. And so, how did someone just happen to be there to take this perfectly composed picture? And you're totally right, because it was totally coordinated. But some things that I want to talk about is message and tone. So with your message, you want to make sure that it's targeted towards your audience. And you want your message to be, what does your tactic communicate to the audience? What's it going to mean to others? Will it be persuasive? Yeah. Will it tell a story that will really draw people in? So I guess I want to put this out to the group. What sort of implications does message have for?
A reminder to the group that you really want to set the tone. All right, it's really important to set the tone of your action.
Setting the tone of an act of civil disobedience takes a lot of self-discipline, and if you lose focus for even a moment, it can change the whole message and the way the event is portrayed by the news media. I took part in an act of civil disobedience in Charlotte in 2009 in front of Duke Energy headquarters when we were protesting against the construction of the Cliffside coal-burning power plant. And we had decided that it would be a very serious and solemn event. And it was. We were doing very well, except for one moment when a police officer asked me if my handcuffs were too tight, and I turned to him and thanked him and smiled for the briefest of moments. And the Charlotte Observer used that very brief moment as the picture on the front page the next day that completely belied the actual tone of the event and changed the message and distorted the image that we were trying to portray.
stop an idea when its time has come. When its time has come. You can't stop an idea when its time has come. When its time has come. Get money out of politics. You all know that the time has come. Break up too big to fail. Obviously, the time has come. Prosecute crimes on Wall Street. Can you believe that it's not been done? End crony capitalism. 99% know this must be done. You can't stop an idea when its time has come. And its time has come. You can't stop an idea when its time has come. And its time has come. Put an end to war. The time has come. The time is now. Invest in education. The time has come. The time is now. Stop economic injustice. Oh, the time has come, and the time is now. Face the crisis of climate change. The time has come, and the time is now. Fix and improve infrastructure. Oh, the time has come, and the time is now. You can't slander an idea. You can't evict an idea. You can't arrest an idea. You can't corral an idea. You can't beat down an idea. And you can't pepper spray an idea. You can't tear gas an idea, and you can't maim an idea, and you can't kill an idea when its time has come, and its time has come, and the time is now.